Hello everyone and welcome to Toxiscandia, stories of a toxicologist living in Scandinavia. This is the second part of my long story of a toxicologist, where I'm going to tell you about my move from Finland to Sweden and also about my master's degree in toxicology. So if you haven't seen the first part, I will leave the link to it in the description of this video, and I will also try to remember to attach it in the first pinned comment. And if you are interested in my journey from Finland to Sweden, please continue watching this video. In the first part of this video, I told you a bit about my background, about my initial move from Russia to Finland in 2011, and about my education. My first education is actually in Russian literature and language. But when I came to Finland, I got my degree in biomedical laboratory science, which is my basic bachelor degree. And I have always wanted to study more. And although I had a very nice job in Finland, which I really loved in microbiology lab, I was still thinking about going to study. And I was thinking about going to Germany, but in the end, it didn't work out. And I ended up going to Sweden. For those who maybe don't remember or haven't watched the first part, I should remind you that I moved to Finland with my husband, who is also Russian, and he got a PhD position in Helsinki, so that's why we moved. And then he defended his PhD, he got some postdoc projects, but at some point it was obvious that he had to search for something outside of Finland, which was good for me because I was still very eager to study more. And the problem with studying in Finland was this division to a university degree and a degree in University of Applied Sciences, which I got, the second one. University degree is all the academic education that you can get, and University of Applied Sciences is more polytech, more technical one. And I always was interested in more applied things, so that's why I went there. But I didn't realize maybe first that would be so difficult to get a master's degree in university after having a bachelor degree in University of Applied Sciences. So this was somewhat a surprise. So it is really hard and sometimes impossible to get into university with your bachelor degree in Applied Sciences, to get to university to master's degree. This is very strict division in Finland, and in only some cases it would be possible, in some areas that are more democratic, let's say. Since I realized this would not necessarily happen in Finland, I started to look around, and I was very interested in Germany at first, because in some regions of Germany this division does not exist, so you could easily go to university or to master's degree with your bachelor's in applied sciences. I have even learned German and passed the language test to be able to go study in German. But since my husband was also looking for positions, he eventually applied to one good project, really nice position in Sweden. And all the application process took really long, like a year or something. And he got this position, which was a huge success for him. After he got it, he still had 1 year before the work started. So this year was actually for me to think about myself and my future. And since I wanted to go to Sweden with him, I started looking at programs in Sweden. And this was actually a very good opportunity, because Sweden has Karolinska Institute, which is the best university in Scandinavia and one of the best medical institutions in Europe. So this was actually really nice thing for me, because I immediately realized that I want to go to Karolinska. I also applied to some other places, but this was one of my priorities. When I went through the programs that Karolinska had, I chose one that was the most applied one, that you could actually get a real job after that, which was toxicology. There was no exam, you only had to apply with your degree certificate from bachelor's, with your motivation letter, with your recommendations and this kind of stuff. And the application process was also quite long, lasted 6 months before I knew the result. And in April 2020, I actually got the result of this process, and I got into the program. As you definitely know, April 2020 was already the beginning of COVID, so the world was already changing, and especially Sweden was in the focus of world media because it had such an unusual approach to COVID, which by the way changed starting from autumn 2020, and it became similar to other Nordic countries. So it wasn't like it was open all the way through COVID, as some of the media said. But anyways, we were getting ready to move, and I took an academic leave from my job, so I didn't quit, and I took a leave for 2 years so I could go and study. And in the end of August 2020, we moved to Sweden, and I started my studies in September. Since it was in the middle of COVID, we had some restrictions which actually affected our studies quite much. First 2 months, September and October, we had a so-called hybrid model, so we actually went to campus and I met my classmates, I met some of my teachers. But starting from November 2020 and till the end of that academic year, we were studying online, which is a bit boring, but for me it was quite a blessing because we ended up living in Uppsala, which is 60 kilometers from Stockholm, and Karolinska is in Stockholm. So I had to commute with public transport, which sometimes took me 2 hours one way, and it was really horrible if you had to spend 4 hours a day in a public transport and wait also for the transfers, so it was quite bad. And I was really glad that it went online. I should say that all the teachers were very good with this online teaching, so they were very flexible and they could actually change their programs and their approach for us to be more effective online. So I couldn't say that I really suffered from studies being online because they were so good at it. Regarding the studies themselves, we had, of course, some classical lectures, like theoretical stuff, but the main focus of the studies was independent work and also work in groups. Work in groups was something that was really huge in this program. So we worked in groups and did some projects in groups almost every week in different groups, so we had to interact with various people, and this actually very helps me in my current job, because all this corporate life is actually working in groups, working in different projects where you have to deal with different styles of working. So this is actually really nice approach. It was also very much based on scientific research and articles that we had to read. So now I'm really good at reading scientific stuff, which is quite incomprehensible for many people, but of course for specialists it's okay, although at first it was also difficult for me, but now I learned how to do that, how to find the most important information in this massive amount of text and numbers. So yeah, this was quite nice, and the first year was loaded with different stuff because we only had 2 years to learn all the toxicology. So we had to learn all the mechanisms that can occur in different parts of the body, in different organs and systems, how substances may affect these organs, how it may look in pathology screening and all this kind of stuff. We also worked a little bit with laboratory animals. We had some practice, although it was COVID, we were all online, but we still had some practical sessions during the spring. So it was really exciting. And the second year, we only had the first semester of studies, and the last semester was for our master's degree project. And the first semester of the second year, we already were on campus with some studies online, so it was hybrid model again. And yeah, we really enjoyed ourselves there, and I actually managed to commute this half a year. It is still better than to commute for 2 years. Yeah, it was a really nice experience. My classmates were a bit younger than me because I was already 32 when I started that program, and they were between 25 and 30, but still we had really nice work together, spent some time together, and we also went to Italy to a study trip for a week. Our teachers took us to some European regulatory agencies that are there in Italy. So it was an exciting time, and I'm very grateful for Karolinska for giving me this opportunity and all this massive amount of knowledge that I got from there. And I could really say that it is worth be called the best university of Scandinavia. And yeah, they have really nice approaches in their education, so I have nothing to complain about. My last semester was a master's degree project, and I had to go do some research somewhere, and the job that my husband had only required him to be in Sweden for a year and a half, which was already over by my master's degree project. And we thought that, okay, we are not bound to Sweden, actually, we can go anywhere. And I researched a bit what kind of agreements our university had, and there was the University of Bergen in Norway, where they had toxicology program and where I could go and do my master's degree project. And I applied and I got in, and this is the topic for my next video, when I will tell you about our move from Sweden to Norway and my master's degree project and how I got my job, my current job in Norway, and how we ended up living in Norway in the end. So if you are interested in the continuation of this long story, please subscribe to my channel. You can also push notification button, then you will get a notification about the next video. And if you like this video, please push the like button. I wish you all a very nice day. Stay strong and healthy, and see you next time. Bye bye.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire.